My pleasure. Thank you so much for hosting me here.
Why is careers education so important in helping young people prepare for their future?
Well, I think what we see is that a lot of young people really haven't thought through perhaps steps for their future. And there are lots and lots of jobs and opportunities that young people, understandably, don't have experience of. And so actually thinking about what's out there, what they might like to do, actually deciding what they don't want to do is often as important. And then when students are younger, often they'll be asking, why am I learning this particular subject? And so actually being able to understand how even the basics, English and maths, but other subjects are used in the workplace is often incredibly valuable at keeping them engaged in education all the way through.
Work experience is changing and evolving and becoming much more flexible than the traditional one-week placement. Why is that evolution so important?
Well, it's been fascinating hearing from the employers here in Worcestershire today, and I think it's backed up our findings that flexibility in terms of delivery of work experience, it works better for employers, for many of whom having a 1 week or 2 week block is quite difficult to accommodate. But also we know that if we start work experience, and literally mean experiences, that could be going into a workplace, it could be hearing from an employer, it could be making sure that, again, people see the link between their curriculum and how those skills are used in the workplace starts earlier. It does tackle that risk of disengagement often we see from young people at the start of their secondary school career. It also offers young people, hopefully, a broader choice. It's not just, again, one block of time in a workplace. It might be they're looking at different employers and different organisations throughout, so they can see what they might like and what they know would not be right for them.
During your professional career, you've probably seen a lot of people undertake work experience. But flipping it slightly onto the student, what should they do to get the most out of work placements or work encounters?
Well, yes, both as a solicitor, but then also as a member of Parliament, I used to offer people who asked a minimum of 2 days work experience. And I think for students, I think perhaps don't go in with any preconceived notions, ask lots of questions, be engaged, put down the phone, be ready to have face-to-face conversations, and use this as a real opportunity both to fully try to understand what's going on in the workplace, but also the fact that many workplaces, although you might go in thinking, oh, it's a hospital, I'm going to learn about care, or it's a accountancy firm, I'm going to learn about numbers. Actually, there are lots of other roles within any workplace as well. So thinking laterally and looking and just listening, and that engagement is really important.
How powerful can employer encounters and workplace experiences be in shaping a young person's aspirations and their future career choices?
Well, look, I think all encounters with potential employers are fundamental in shaping. They're about broadening a young person's horizons. We know that actually, if you're a fortunate young person, you've perhaps got some family experience, other connections, then that might be helpful. But the world of work is changing so quickly, and the number of jobs that are available now that weren't available 10 years ago, and that's only going to accelerate, mean that actually having those different encounters, those conversations, and often just hearing, I think, about how people found themselves to be in the job they're doing now. There's this thing called squiggly careers, and so people don't follow linear career paths anymore, and they certainly don't do one job for life. So I think understanding that your career, your work is going to evolve, it is really valuable too.
So being flexible?
I think it's about just being open. So actually, fun enough, we had a work experience, a student here this morning came with one of the employers. She said, what's the advice? And I said, actually, I think that curiosity, or being always willing to learn, but understanding that you're not going to just have that one job is really, really important.
If every school, college and employer in Worcestershire committed to working together to support young people, what difference do you think that could make?
Look, we know that nationally we have almost 1 million young people who are not in education, employment or training. And so actually if every school and college, employer, educator committed to really tackling this problem, I think we would find that young people are engaged in the curriculum, they're energised in education because they can see why what they're learning is going to be useful for their futures. But I also think that employers actually would have real confidence in the talent pipeline, the fact that they can see young people who are engaged, who do want to work, who do want to learn about what they have to offer. And so that confidence that actually your organisation has a bright future because you can see the young people you're going to employ.
What would you say to a Worcestershire employer who says, I'm too small or I'm too busy to engage with schools and young people?
Well, I would say to a really small employer who thinks that they haven't got the time, actually, please contact the Careers Hub, because I think there's lots of support available. There's lots of employers who have been through these steps, who will be able to help you really practically, I think, to think through what you can offer. And of course, it doesn't have to be on your own. You can work with, perhaps there might be other SMEs, other companies and organisations you work with, and you could do a shared work experience plan.
You might not know, but we're about to reshape the acronym NEAT into New Emerging Energised Talent.
Yes.
How does that sound as a prospect to you?
I love the thought of reshaping what NEAT actually literally means. And I think actually the point about, look, I think we have brilliant young people and I think they are energised and I think that they are really hungry for work experiences, for understanding about the opportunities that are open to them. We want them to see that broad spectrum, and I think that actually it's often not helpful to give people labels. I think making it sound exciting is exactly where it should be at.